Hello, you're watching the highlights of Hotel Designs Live with me, Hamish Kilburn, the editor of Hotel Designs, which is the leading international hotel design website. On the 23rd of February 2021, we served up our third Hotel Designs Live in order to keep the industry connected and the conversation flowing. Following my editor's welcome, our first session of the day was really looking at the hotel experience and hotel design 10 years from now. The reason why we chose 10 years as our parameter is because anything further than that really falls into guessing territory. And we wanted all of the predictions that our panelists put forward to come from informed qualitative research. On the panel, we were joined by Alban Berglund, who is the co-founder of Bergman Interiors, Chris Lee, who is the director of design, architecture and construction at Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, Martin Goddard, who is the co-founder of Goddard Littlefair, and Rob Stewell, who is the creative director of The Londoner at Edwardian Hotels, but also served 8 years at Woods Bagot. We joined the conversation after the panel have all agreed that technology will have to find new meaning in the future of hotel design. And also in some areas, technology will need to be removed in order to really integrate and to encourage that human relationship once more. This session is sponsored by Hamilton Lightstat, and this video has been edited by our friends at Cube Video. I wanted to sort of make a nod to a previous discussion that we had with Hotel Designs Live, and that was with Jason Bradbury, who is our loyal tech expert, former presenter of the Gadget Show. He reviewed a hotel for us in 30 years' time was his mindset. So he was reviewing it there and then, in the future. And one of the areas that he really touched upon was surfaces, and how he believes that surfaces will become much more personalized so that they'll almost display like a news feed or whatever you want. Did you agree with that? And what conversations are we having around surfaces and integrating technology within them? Is that a thing?
I'm slightly getting anti-technology. I've been for a while, and I find the addictiveness of it and the accessibility to you because of it. I find it is really going to become a massive issue in terms of wellness. And I'm not sure if you feel, going back to that conversation about being closeted in a hotel room or having an experience or whatever, and I think we are heading for a period, and I think there's been a lot of stuff in the media and some thinkers, and particularly I think COVID has brought this into sharp focus and put a mirror against us and our use of technology. And I think there's actually times where we need to just walk away from it. As human beings, we need to just go and do something else. And it may be, and we're seeing it again, we're feeling in a lot of certainly guest room scenarios, but also in public areas, is like, let's put the laptop down. Let's put and even we're doing some schemes at the moment where we're actually saying to the people, we've got the ability to actually shut the television down. So you can dress the room completely, almost technology free, because surely that's the best thing. There've been lots of studies into sleep patterns and things that are disturbed by looking at technology too late at night or too early in the morning, and the stress levels. And actually, I think they're potentially, and I might be wrong, but I certainly feel that there is a move to kind of take it out of hospitality spaces, and it's a time for people to actually to go, do you know what? This is my time. I'm going to enjoy the other wellness things that I really want to enjoy, like spa, the other guys have been working on, and a space to read a book, and a space to have a lovely cocktail, and a space to eat some fantastic food, and actually socialize with people. Is more important. I mean, how many times do you go to a restaurant and see two people sitting at a table looking at their phones? It defeats the purpose of actually being there, doesn't it? And I think that's where I think some of these, yes, technology needs to be there because we depend on it, but the more invisible it is and the more intuitive it is, probably the better.
Yeah, and I really do agree with that, but I do also think that there's two forces working against each other here. This idea that public spaces are going to become more sort of inhabit co-working spaces, and then obviously the idea of getting rid of technology to sort of enjoy the leisure side of the hotel. And I quite like to discuss that after the Product Watch pitch, if that's okay with you guys. So now it's time to go to our Product Watch pitch. So if all of our partners could share their cameras and unmute themselves, and if all of our speakers could put yourself on mute and unshare your cameras, that would be great. If you can, Martin, don't worry too much. So brilliant. We're going to start with Hamilton Light Stats. We've got a video here that I will share with you now. And that's Hamilton Lightstat there. And we recently published 2 case studies for Hamilton Lightstat, one of which was the Waterside Inn and also Hotel Indigo Bath. We love working with Hamilton Lightstat, Gavin and the team. I'm sure Gavin will speak to you in the chat a little bit later on. Next up, we have Chelsom, and we've got a pre-recorded video from Will Chelsom.
I hope you're all safe and well wherever you might be in the world. I want to talk to you here about our latest collections, edition 27, which we successfully launched to the global marketplace back in September 2020. It's undoubtedly our boldest collection to date, and we have further pushed the boundaries of hospitality lighting design. Specifically, I wanted to focus on our brand new LED reading light range, LED Eye. The market for LED reading lights is undoubtedly somewhat saturated, and we therefore felt a huge need to design something that was completely different to everything else out there. It had to fuse original, cutting-edge design and aesthetics in order to subtly enhance any interior design scheme, whilst being totally flush and seamlessly integrated into a guest room headboard. The concept of the Eye evolved with a circular flush perimeter front plate of steel and a sculptured cast aluminium centerpiece acting as an eyelid. On the surface, there's an incredible simplicity about this circular design, yet the internal mechanics are complex and unprecedented in this product class, allowing a full range of reading light with the lightest of touches. As the product only projects 5mm from the front of the headboard, it looks as good open and illuminated as it does closed and dormant, something that we strive for at the original concept stage in order to create a truly decorative feature. The product comes in different standard finishes: matte white, brushed brass, brushed nickel and satin black, as well as special order combination finishes. Of course, LED Eye only makes up a small part of our extensive new range. We've invested a great deal in perfecting our latest designs, all of which have been created with the hospitality market in mind. Our passion for design, combined with over 70 years of experience, has totally shaped this new collection, and we are immensely proud to be sharing it with you all. Alongside edition 27, half of what we do at Chelsom is totally bespoke, where we're able to work closely with designers and clients to help bring their concepts to life, whatever the design intent may be. Thank you very much for listening to me today. We look forward to hearing from you in the near future, whatever your requirement may be.
And that was Will Chelsom there for Chelsom. And one thing just to also bear in mind is last year Chelsom launched the edition 27. We really felt for them because obviously they weren't able to do it in person with one of their spectacular events that they're so known for. But we did share our editorial piece on that. So if you want to read more about the Chelsom edition 27, you can do so on the Hotel Designs website, type in Chelsom, or I'm sure we'll much rather you guys go direct to the website and have a chat with them in person. Okay, next up we have from Blue Air, Michael Weston. Hi, Michael. How are you doing?
Hi everyone. I'm Michael Weston. I'm B2B sales manager for Blue Air. Good morning, and thank you all for having us in today's event. Blue Air, we are world-leading experts in air purification, founded 25 years ago in Sweden. And we believe that everyone deserves the right to breathe clean air, whether it's at home, in school, or in a hotel. Now, the hospitality industry may be on pause right now, but we're still very excited to share a video with you on how air purifiers can help improve hotel guest experience. So please enjoy this video.
My name is Kenji. I'm the hotel operations manager at Page 8. Being very centrally located, we thought that the brand does push people to go out and travel and explore, but at the same time, we want to make sure that when a guest comes into the room that they have a moment to rest, to relax, to have a sense of peace, that they're in a healthy environment and that they can have a very restful sleep. The design was quite subtle. We didn't want something that was in your face in the room, but something that a guest would naturally come to notice and wonder what it is. It would be another point of discussion between us and the guest. We actually had a guest today that made a comment that he suffers from asthma and usually sleeps really badly in hotels. And this was one of the only hotels that he's ever slept in where he managed to keep the windows closed, that it was quiet, and that he had a very restful sleep, and that he woke up fully revitalized. And he did mention that it must be because of the blue air that's in the room and that was circulating the whole night. If anything, that's a true testament to blue air's capacity. As a base of business as well, in hotel, we do sell sleep at the end of the day. Another great reason why we chose blue air was because it was not only one of the best products, but also that it had a very silent operating system that allowed our guests to breathe clean air and sleep a very peaceful sleep.
And that's Blue Air. Also worth knowing that we launched our industry support package last year to really help the industry through COVID-19, and Blue Air took advantage of that package. So if you want to read some of our articles as well as the case study of Page 8 Hotel, then you can do so on the Hotel Designs website. And I'm sure also Michael will share links to where you can find out more information about the products at Blue Air. Okay, next up we have Pent Fitness, so voice tech. Just need to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hi there.
Let's share the screen. When you're ready.
So, yeah, I'm ready right now. So, hi, my name is Wojtek, and I'm a Chief Customer Officer at Pent. Pent is a producer and supplier of luxury fitness solutions for individual customers, entertainment facilities, and hotels. I'd like to present to you a product that responds to the change that the world has been going through over the last year. In a nutshell, it will allow hotel guests to use fitness equipment at the comfort of their rooms. Can we go to the next slide, please? The product itself is called Sophia, and it's a complementary set of dumbbells, kettlebells, exercise mat, and essential yoga and fitness accessories. It has been created by specialists for professionals and enthusiasts as a complete set for the most demanding people. It's one set with many possibilities. The ergonomic design includes drawers for smaller but extremely important accessories such as a jump rope or a push-up bar. There's a place for towels, water, and an iPad with your favorite music or exercise routines. Next slide, please. If, however, you prefer a more stationary approach to the solution, Pent also provides a permanent set of fitness equipment. The combo option can be placed inside chosen rooms or suites to provide hotel guests with even more privacy and hassle-free fitness experience. In both cases, the premise is obvious. Stay fit while staying in your room. Please visit us at www.pentfitness.com and do not hesitate to contact us through the contact form provided. Thank you for listening, and hope we can meet sometime later.
Thank you very much, Wojtek. I think it's really worth, just from that, I just get that fitness is going to be hugely relevant moving forward, and really tapping into wellness and well-being as well. And a product that really sort of combines that style and functionality is amazing. So thank you very much. Moving on now to Yeans Hospitality. So Gary.
Hello there.
I'll share the screen for you now. And when you're ready.
Thank you, and welcome to our presentation of Messerschmitt's Guest Room Access and Room Management Solutions. In 2020, Yeans Hospitality became the exclusive partners for the UK and Ireland. Here's a short video showcasing what your next hotel project could be using. The Messerschmitt Solutions evolved over the last 30 years to become a leading provider of guest room access and room management systems across Europe. Trusted by over 2,000 hotels, the solution has proven popular with hotel designers, architects, and operators who wish to create stunning yet bespoke guest rooms, safe in the knowledge the products will continue to work for many years to come. All of the products are engineered and manufactured in a factory in Germany. This enables us to provide long-term product support with an environmentally friendly supply chain compared to other solutions we import from China. Recent investment has provided new hygienic solutions such as contactless entry using your mobile phone, as well as single-stay paper keycards providing COVID-19 protection for all guests and staff. Yeans Hospitality are proud to bring these solutions to our portfolio of services to the UK and Ireland markets, and hope to work with you in the near future.
Brilliant. And that was Yeans Hospitality. Thank you so much, Gary. I think it's really important moving forward that, it's the devil's in the detail, really. Consumers are becoming a lot more savvy. So to have key cards and to have panels that really reflect the design narrative is very important, as to what Martin was saying as well. So that's our product watch pitch partners. So if you guys wouldn't mind now muting yourselves and taking your cameras off, and if our speakers could then come back, that would be great. In the meantime, I just wanted to mention that this session is sponsored by Hamilton Lightstat, who we heard in the first pitch, which provides the finishing touches to hotel interiors with its inviolable portfolio of on-trend decorative wiring accessories, as well as smart lighting controls, audio systems designed to enhance the guest experience. And with that, we should welcome back our speakers. So welcome back, Albin, Chris, Rob, Martin. And let's get started. So before that break and before the product watch pitch, we were talking about co-working spaces, and Martin, obviously you made the point of us sort of removing tech from certain spaces moving forward could be the new luxury. I certainly feel that. But what about when it comes to co-working spaces and this new trend for really sort of driving the workplace through hotel public areas? Albin, perhaps you can take this.
Well, but first of all, I really agree with Martin when it comes to the rooms in specific. I think really we're moving away from the technology. I think people are fed up with going in and finding an iPad that you need to figure out how it's configured and how the system works. I think the luxury today is to go in and literally just flip a switch and things work. It should be easy, and I think that really is the luxury where we're going. When it comes to co-working spaces and working across the hotel, yes, of course, that will be there and it will be incorporated, but don't know to what extent. I don't think we will start seeing screens and things coming up. I don't know, people are sitting on their laptops already. I don't see that changing in the future very quickly, to be honest.
Rob, do you have anything to add in regards to co-working spaces?
Yeah, listening to both Martin and Alban, I couldn't agree more. I think our guests really appreciate having their own ability to choose what technologies they want, keeping it very subtle, staying with classic timeless design. We mentioned before the break the sustainability of designing quality materials that will last the distance and not be ripped out and changed after just a few years. So agree with all of that, and that's really the ethos behind what we do with Edwardian Hotels.
Perfect. Well,
having said this, though, technology is still a very important part of everything, really. But I think it's more like clear filtered air. Like that's a technology that is very important, and that brings luxury filtered waters in the shower, like clean water in the shower. That is technology as well behind all of that. So technology is very, very important in many aspects. It's been very driven to almost becoming a bit gimmicky, and I think that is what we're going to see, that most brands will move away from. So that the luxury will have this, the aspect of luxury is changing more for a simple approach. But technology will always be there and will always be important.
I think it's also really understanding the narrative of the hotel design as well, whether it's the hotel designed to, be that tech-driven brand, which we all know them, or whether it's a more sort of luxury scale. It wouldn't make sense to confuse the identity, really. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes left, so I kind of want to address some rumors and maybe go a little bit controversial, but I've heard recently that certain design firms are drastically undercutting project costs during pitch phases. And we're looking at, in this session, the hotel experience 10 years from now. But I also think it's worth understanding how business will be in 10 years from now among designers. How damaging could this be for the A&D community in the future? And I'm open for anyone to take it if they want to.
I mean, I don't mind being controversial. It's always difficult, and obviously I've been through now, and obviously been through lots of phases of recession, boom, bust, other areas, expanding and growing, like when Dubai kicked off, and the Far East, and all of those kind of things. And I worked in the Far East when that was really. I was working in Kuala Lumpur for a while when that thing was absolutely humming, and design companies could charge what they want. There are periods in that boom bust phase where there were designers charging an awful lot of money, and designers were scarce, and therefore the premium went up. And then there are periods of downturn when everybody's looking over their shoulder, big companies, small companies. So there is an economic reality to it, and clients know this, developers know this, and it's a bit of a game. It's a bit of a sort of like, can we get the designer we want for the money we want? And often, certainly on more commercial projects, often there is a figure in mind. The client has been told, or from a cost consultant, or from a PM or something, has said, you should be the interior designer should be about this. So regardless of maybe the complexity of the project and all those kind of things, and we try and price really closely on time and scope, and we even calculate it all out. We even give the clients the calculations, but it's still sometimes we had a conversation where somebody just picks up the phone and say, can you take 20% off? And that's without us offering any discounts. That's just a conversation like, would you do it for less? And do you want to do the project? So it's a very difficult topic, and I think as an industry we do have to try and defend what we do and the value that we bring. This really goes to the fee conversation, which I think has to go hand in hand. Is a good designer or a good architect or a good operator, and operators have the same conversations about fee levels as well, we know. And what value do you bring? Yes, you could go for somebody that is cheaper, or is whatever. but do they bring the value? And I think what we have to demonstrate as designers is, can our design and our thinking, our commercial thinking, make your hotel more successful, or your venture, or whatever the space is? So I think it becomes a that balance. And I think, yeah, as an industry, we do have to try and stand as strong as we can. But I think it's very difficult. Also, it's very difficult because clients come to you with different briefs. You know, do you stop at concept? Do you do DD? Do you go all the way through here? Does the architect do more? Do we go design and build? So there isn't there isn't an even playing field from one project to another. So it is a real, you know, spaghetti junction of a topic. And I wish it was more straightforward. I wish there was a percentage driven scale and schedule, and then we all get judged on the quality of our work and our team and our experience.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also in the times we're currently in, everything's gone even more sort of underground. The conversations it's very easy to just jump on a Zoom call, for example, and pitch an idea, whereas previously it was you know, traditionally bring in your work and pitch it to us in person. And I'd be interested to really understand from you guys whether you think that that's going to change with, you know, you will work on international projects, and whether or not you feel as if we're going to have to, or we're going to be able to travel as much as we were, and whether that's going to affect the pitches, but also the relationships. At the end of the day, we all work in a very you know, friendly community where it's all around relationships and building those relationships outside of working hours. It's interesting to see how that's going to change moving forward.
I mean, I don't mind watering on if anyone else wants to jump in, but I mean, Joe and I were just talking on our morning dog walk this morning about how in business and in design, the actual meeting people and having those conversations outside of the meeting space. I mean, we were talking about, you know, we work with some lovely furniture manufacturers and in different parts of the world and stuff. And half the value of the visit is actually in the long lunch, or the evening meal, or the conversation on the car on the way to the airport, or those conversations are where we find opportunities and find new things. So we could be talking about our work, and we could be talking about projects, and I go, we've just got this fantastic machine that does da 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 da, and then something happens from that. And it's the same when we meet with clients. On a Zoom call, everybody hits the leave button, conversation stops. And I think there is no, I don't think there's any substitute for doing that and actually having that interface and going to see people where they are and having those side conversations. And you're right, it is all about relationships. And some of the best clients and some of the best results we've had are from long-standing relationships that we've had for many years before we even started in some of them. And it's just so lovely. I mean, we're working on a job in the Middle East, and the CEO of that company was the CEO of a company we did a project for when we were just a one-man band based in our little garret in Barbican. And he remembered us and put us on the list, and we presented to him, and it was a fabulous experience. It was lovely, and it was just a personal connection. And you can't do that on a Zoom call.
Of course, and we've all had those, you know, experiences. I certainly have as a journalist, you know, with you guys as well. You know, I much prefer us all catching up for a drink at you know, our networking events or wherever they may be. And I think that's just going to move forward. That's the demand of the consumers as well as the industry as well. Everyone wants that face-to-face back. And it's a really challenging and difficult time for us as well to keep things exciting and engaging. But we're trying our best. We have a few questions from the audience. And I'm going to put this question to you, Alban, if you don't mind. But does the panel think that they will consider providing more external or semi-external spaces in projects moving forward? And has that been a demand moving forward from your clients in recent conversations?
Definitely, yes. Again, relating to wellness, few projects as well. One that we're doing in the Middle East, they now want to move the wellness area outdoors. Another spa project we're doing in Greece as well, want to incorporate more outdoor areas. And I guess that's because they see how, well, because of the current situation and how they believe people will interact moving forward. So definitely, I think that the exterior spaces of any hotel will be much more important than what it is now.
Yeah, and Rob, do you agree that this has definitely changed recently?
It's always been important. It's been growing in importance. In fact, at the Londoner, we put a huge investment into a roof terrace with retractable roofs and sort of convertible space. But across the whole hotel group, we found huge demand for outdoor spaces. It started way back as a smoking thing, and now it's not a smoking thing. It's sitting outside, being part of the streetscape, seeing the energy of what's going on around in the streets and really being part of things. And then the design challenge, of course, is around the weather, making it work. How do you protect people from the rain, wind, noise, etc.? And those design solutions are what are driving really interesting solutions across London and Europe. Great stuff.
Of course, yeah. Here's a question for everyone. Do the panel think that remote working will continue in their own practices and studios? And how long do you expect to continue the way we are? Chris, you mentioned that you were going back to somewhat of a reality in Dubai in the next couple of weeks. You're going back in the office.
Yeah, look, there's lots of people who are still doing what we're all doing now. And that's, well, speaking for myself, working from home. To answer the question, again, it's a personal view. I think it will be throughout the whole of 21. We'll all be working from home. And I just think we'll start eking out early into 2022 because we'll get to stage where we want to, and the fear factor's gone. The vaccines are being rolled out, and we'll all have a lot more confidence, and we'll all want to get in those meeting rooms we've just talked about, where the creativity is buzzing around and idea generation flow. We're all missing it. We're all missing social interaction. So I think steady on this year, but 22, we'll be away.
And what about Goddard Littlefair? Because you guys, strategically made sure that all your team were on one floor just before the pandemic hit, and then this happened. Because what's going to happen there?
I think we're feeling, and Joe and I, again, it goes back to the wellness discussion, but I think there may be more of a balance, and I think we feel, and talking to our team as well, that yes, they want to interact, and it's very important in the creative process, absolutely 100%. But there is also some benefit to be had by a couple of days a week not commuting, a couple of days a week actually being at home to, those hours that we've lost of traveling to work. And for most people, if we work in London, for example, to get anywhere in London takes an hour, regardless. So those 2 hours a day that you suddenly get back, I've certainly noticed it. I put more time into fitness or stuff like that. We don't want to take that away from people again. So I think we'll have a balance, and I think it will be much more. The studio space will be more hot desking, more design charrette time, and more interaction like that, rather than sitting in rows with headphones on, banging away on the CAD machine. Yeah. That's for your 2 days a week at home when you can sit there banging away on your CAD machine. Where actually, I think actually being able to sit around for some of that time in the office, we sit around as a team together and talk more. And again, maybe put the technology to the side a little bit, and that I think is going to make us stronger. So I think we see a balance. I think we probably see a smaller studio.
Do you therefore think that luxury, because this is another question that's come in, and I'm trying to get through them all with the time we've got, but do you therefore think that luxury hotels will steer towards catering to virtual workers in their public spaces moving forward? And will that be a consideration? I mean, Rob, that's probably best for you, considering you're just about to open the Londoner, which is like right in the heart of London, Leicester Square.
We saw that trend already, and in fact, the meeting rooms are meeting rooms, they're dining rooms, they're club rooms, and they can kind of do all of the above. So we were already picking up on that trend, and that's just accelerating. What the big rooms will do, we were talking about earlier, still maybe a little bit for the short term and medium term anyway, until, as Chris was saying, we're through this 2021. It may be a little bit more difficult, but that will come back. Demand for meeting, it's there now. People want it, they ask about it, and they want to see what we're able to provide for them when they're ready to return. So we don't see that changing all that much in the distant future. That is there.
So there's time for one more question, and that's to look positively at the future and what excites you most about future design and development moving forward. Chris, I think I want to come to you first.
Oof, blimey. I'll make it short, so short on time. But,
you seem like an optimist.
Well, yeah, try to remain positive. Look, my brain when I answer this question is way in the future. Now, whether that's 15 years or 50 years, I'm not sure, but it's based on the 2035 sleep set we did. And if I could go and pay to sleep in that sleep set tomorrow, I can't wait, because I want to be in that setting where I just control my own destiny. It's high tech, it's luxurious, it's timeless, it's using great materials, all the discussions we've ticked today. But I think
that project for me certainly blurred the lines between lifestyle and luxury, and the fact that actually it's just going to become a demand moving forward. And, you know, consumers are very unapologetic in what they want now in regards to what they expect from a hotel.
Absolutely, very much so. But, and again, it was driven around the Gen Z, so we have to sort of keep that in mind. But when I sleep in that hotel, and I'm not a Gen Z, and we've talked about this, I just want to be able to make sure I can walk in and choose the setting, whether I'm at Lord's cricket ground on my own, or at Lord's crowd, or Manchester United, or in the middle of the ocean. I just want it to be easy to use, and then I'll be happy.
Brilliant. And Martin, really quickly, what excites you about the future?
Oh, I think spaces that actually make you slow down a bit, and the things that actually focus in on other things, I think will be exciting. I'd like to see hospitality spaces feel independent and feel vibrant. I'd like to see us interacting with outside partners more in schemes. I'd like to really bring in other people that are good. I mean, in our spa work, it's so lovely to bring in, you know, people who really live and breathe it. And I'd really like to take sustainability to a new level. I'd really like it to be endemic in what we do. I mean, it is, but I want it to be in a way that it is, you know, we had this conversation recently about, it's not all about hemp and driftwood on the wall. It's about everything is sustainable as it can be.
Well, you should listen to our next session, because that's exactly what we're going to discuss. Rob, really quickly. Thank you, Martin. Rob, really quickly, what excites you about the future? Opening the Londoner.
Allowing the hospitality of luxury to carry on and grow, but being responsible to the planet. Londoner, BREEAM excellent building, took a lot of energy and technology to get there, but we've made that investment. So we're comfortable that we can provide that kind of luxury experience with true sustainability. And I think the more we do of that, the more we make the travel industry across not just hotels, but everything related to it sustainable, we'll all feel better about it, and we'll all be able to participate in it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And finally, you, Albin.
Yeah, well, what excites me is that the world is changing, not only because of COVID, but for many reasons. And us designers, we no longer just design spaces, we design experiences. And that, I think, is really exciting.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, that is really all we've got time for. We've gone over by 2 minutes, but I think that's okay. Just want to thank you all, really. Albin Bergland from Bergman Interiors, Martin Goddard from Goddard Littlefair, Chris Lee from Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, and Rob Stewell from the Edwardian Hotels and the Londoner, which is just about to open as well. Thank you so much also to our Product Watch pitch partners. We had Chelsea, Blue Air, Pent Fitness, and Yeames Hospitality, and Hamilton Lights. That was the sponsor of this session. If you want to join us for our sustainability beneath the surface panel discussion, which takes place at 11 o'clock, just gives me some time to get a cup of tea, then you can do so. Katie will share the link to that session now, it's in the chat previously. And thank you all for taking part, and I'll see you all soon.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.